they're at, and things they do well consistently versus like kind of the build that you guys are trying to put together?
You want me to compare us to them?
No, I want to know where you think so that like sort of this team is on. It's like
that's a championship team right there. We're not. So I don't understand.
What are the biggest things you think that are keeping this team as right now?
We can't sustain energy and effort for 48 minutes, and they can. That's why they won a championship.
There you go.
Say loud and proud, straight shooter.
Oh, look
I like
at that.
I like that name. I like that name.
Got it.
Thank you very much.
What do you think about what LeBron said?
I like that.
I think he nailed it. Listen, I've watched the Lakers. They were in the Garden a couple weeks ago. The Lakers, so they're available on television regularly. And the first thing that you're struck with when you watch this group, considering the Western Conference, is they don't have enough size, and then they don't defend. Like, there's just no way around those two things. And I get it. Luka Doncic potentially having an otherworldly postseason performance is not out of the realm of possibility. But just on a functional level of the grind and how difficult it is to win, I think that's what you heard from that sound from LeBron James. How much he respects the way that the Thunder are able to bring it consistently, as he said. So to me, the Lakers, as I'm watching, this year is whatever it may be. It is not a year that is going to go down in the Lakers' legacy books, whatever. They are clearly trying to figure out how they're going to move forward with Luka Doncic as a centerpiece, and that begins this offseason.
Yeah, the Lakers can also be streaky shooters. What do you think, S.A., about what LeBron said?
You know what, Shay, I'm going to defer to my brother, Big Perk, because, he hasn't been on in the morning too much for First Take, throughout these last few months. So I'm going to warm and re-ingratiate him with our audience. Feel free, he's up in the morning in some undisclosed location. Let the brother speak first, and then I will follow. You may go.
Undisclosed.
You may go.
Well, I would say shots were fired. Shots were fired. That was shots fired at Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, because LeBron said we're not able to sustain for 48 minutes, meaning that you don't have the personnel and the depth to compete at a high level for 48 minutes. We already knew that. What did Rob Pelinka do at the trade deadline? He went out and got Luke Kennard. Now, I'm not saying Luke Kennard is not a damn good basketball player offensively. We know he's one of the best three-point shooters in the game, but that's not been – the offense hasn't been the Lakers' issue. The Lakers' issue has been their toughness, right? Who's going to anchor the front line? It hasn't been DeAndre Ayton. Don't get caught up in those numbers, especially when he have double-doubles, because that's fool's gold. Jackson Hayes, you don't know mentally, is he going to be checked in or checked out every single night? And they don't have perimeter dogs to defend at a high level consistently and provide some offense. But again, it goes back to this. The Lakers have moved on from LeBron James. Mm-hmm. He's crying for the championship roster, and they're telling him right in the front of his face in today's world, in 2026, that it's not about you no more. This is about Luka Doncic. This is about our future. We're not rushing to do anything to please you. This is what this is about.
Well, listen. First of all, let's understand this about LeBron James when he said about them being able to sustain effort and not us. Do you know what the Lakers' record is when they have a lead going into the fourth quarter?
It was like 18-1.
You know what the record is? 23-0. They're undefeated. Right here. 23-0 when they enter the fourth quarter with the lead. When they enter the fourth quarter with the lead. They're 23-0. So those last 12 minutes, you're looking at them and it's like, it's a problem for them in a lot of instances, elsewhere. The bottom line is this. You don't have to, Big Perk, build the team around LeBron James and his desire, because LeBron James and his desire doesn't necessarily have to be separate and apart from that of Luka Doncic. What I mean by that is that the needs are the needs, whatever they may be. Luka Doncic is a superstar offensive basketball player. I'm not sure he could guard you, Perk. I'm not sure. The bottom line is that he ain't trying to. Most of the time, he is not. He will never, ever be accused of being a stout defensive player. Okay? Well, when they're talking about execution, we keep thinking offense. It's everything. Why did I not have a problem with them getting Luke Kennard? Because do you realize that the Lakers shoot better contested from the perimeter than they do open shots? They miss more open shots. I mean, no wonder you haven't seen J.J. Redick smile since Thanksgiving. The man is watching his team, one of the great shooters the NBA has seen. He is watching dudes get wide open shots and can't make them. It's gotten to the point where you see opposing teams like, should we really guard them out there? Let them shoot. When we contest them, they make some of those shots. They don't make open shots. This is who they are. And so and then you combine that with what they don't do defensively, collectively, in terms of effort consistently over a 48-minute period, you're not going to look at them and say they're a championship team. But I tell you this much, they have the personnel where they could surprise you. I don't think it'll happen. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of it is not even because of your personnel. It's because of the effort that they don't give you. Because it's a little bit different than La La. It's a little bit different than Tinseltown.
Surprise
Sometimes people get comfortable. Not LeBron. No. Well, I'm just talking about potentially a dark horse. I don't believe it. I don't believe that's going to happen. But you look at their personnel and you just say to yourself, damn, if they gave some more effort, they could make some noise. They could they could make some noise. Just don't expect them to because the effort ain't consistently there.
So do you agree with that? Do you think the Lakers could potentially be a dark horse?
Girl, if and buts were candy and nuts, sure. Like, why not? Like, I'm not going to say no team out of respecting NBA teams. I'm not going to say anybody can't win. But as I look at this with my rational basketball mind, whether it's the effort, the defense, or the depth, whichever issue you want to pick, they got some issues in terms of trying to win at a high level. But to Stephen A's point, as he started, he's right. The needs are the needs, SA, but we all know that the assets, in terms of how you go and address those needs, are going to look very different this summer as opposed to right now.
Burke, what do you think? Could they be a dark horse?
Yeah. Hell no. Absolutely not. Look, I'm telling you this. Guys like Anthony Edwards, SGA, the San Antonio Spurs backcourt. By the way, they play the Spurs tonight, so let's tune in and watch that game because every time they play the Spurs, they get cooked, especially on the perimeter. Teams are looking forward to playing against the Los Angeles Lakers with a healthy squad out there. And I know those guys haven't been healthy, but you're talking about a 41-year-old LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Luka. You're talking about those three guys being on the floor together. Right now, all three guys are defensive liabilities. All three of those guys are not great at all when it comes down to sliding your puppies. Okay, give LeBron James the benefit of the doubt and say that he is 41 years old. You can't expect him to be out there and be this defensive guru. I give you that. But looking at your two guys that you got plans on building your franchise around, and Luka and Austin Reeves, man, they're cooked. The league is waiting on those two guys when it comes down to matchups in the post game. I believe this Laker team, their ceiling is the second round.
Oh, okay. Also, all of this chatter.
Well, listen.
Go ahead,
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But what I'm saying to you is this: when we're talking about effort, a collective effort on the defensive side of the ball, which we don't see enough of from the Lakers. That's a huge, huge impediment. We know, and I think even Perk would agree, offensively, when they get going, they can hang with anybody offensively. The problem is that you can't get stops. This is why, even though we respect the job that J.J. Redick and his coaching staff has done, and major props to them, a lot of us feel compelled to never let anybody forget about Darvin Ham. Because with him coaching the Lakers, guess what? They went to the